To moderate this panel, once again, we are going to be inviting Dr. Hitesh Bhatt. But first, let's invite the panelists, and Dr. Hitesh Bhatt will join us shortly. Inviting the panelists, Mr. Abhishek Daga, founder and chairman, Nasher Miles. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together and in CEO and co-founder, Pluck. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us on stage right now, Mr. Prateek Gupta. Stage right now, Mr. Shivi Singh. Let's put our hands together and welcome him. And now to moderate this panel, Dr. Hitesh Bhatt, Director, Marketing and Communications, Editorial Director, STOrai Magazine, RAI. Gentlemen, over to you.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Once again, the final session for Retail Leadership Summit 2024. And the panel is all about industry mavericks charting unconventional paths to retail triumph. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to stand here and, so that I can see all of you. So I'll be standing here and, moderating the session. So what is an unconventional path? And we had this fireside chat right now, and I think that was also one of the unconventional paths that Parul has taken to reach her goal. But we have got another 6-7 of our friends out here who have also charted that unconventional path to the retail triumph. Retail triumph, I will say that today they are successful. That's why we are privileged to have them on the stage. But that ultimate triumph, it's a long way to go yet. So we'll start with Chippy, and we will. So the way we are going to do this is we are going to ask each one of them to introduce them their brands to us succinctly in 1 or 2 sentences, so that you get fair idea about what business they are into, and then we will take this conversation to the next level. So let me start with Shivi on the extreme left of mine, and then we come down to Vijay.
Thank you for having me. I'm Shivi, founder and CEO at Clear Dekho. We are building India's most affordable eyewear brand. We try to build eyeglasses, especially for the mass market. We are talking about populations which are at the bottom of the pyramid. So we are operating almost 120 stores across 50 odd cities in 10 states in India and growing. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Ravi Saxena, founder and CEO of Wonder Chef. I would like to define Wonder Chef as the most exciting brand in the Indian kitchenware space. We have revolutionized the Indian kitchen, the domestic market, through our quality of products, innovations, and amazing ideas to make cooking fun and easy. The market has rewarded us with great success. I am thankful to our consumers. And I would invite all of you to go and check our website whenever you can, the main banner, and discover a product that we are about to launch, because I think that is the culmination of everything that we stand for, which is a robotic cooking machine. It's quite incredible. Just check that out. Thank you.
Hi, thank you everybody. My name is Prateek Gupta. I run a company called Pluck. I'm the CEO and co-founder of that. Pluck is basically a farm-to-fork company. We work with 1,000+ farmers, and we provide for fresh food, fresh produce to our customers, which is not only fruits and vegetables, but meal kits, salads, dips, juices, fresh food for the audiences in Mumbai, Bangalore, and Delhi. We are also present as a brand on Amazon, Swiggy, and Zepto, and Blinkit, and all the platforms, as well as operate our own D2C platform. So, thanks.
Hi, everyone. I'm Chippy Mehta. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Bombay Shirt Company. We're a 12-year-old company, primarily men's custom-made products in the apparel space, trying to revolutionize and evolve with the way the customer is changing the way patterns are changing, where everybody wants to have a personalized and customized experience in their shopping experience. So that's where we come in. We believe that over the next 5, 10, and 15 years, as the hundreds of Me Too brands that come up, that's how we're going to be able to differentiate ourselves. So, yeah.
Hello everyone, my name is Anurag Kedia. I'm the co-founder of Pilgrim. What Pilgrim offers is hair care and skin care and now even color cosmetic solutions. Our USP is that we bring international beauty ingredients and trends and traditions to the Indian market. So for example, we offer a volcanic lava ash from Korean Jeju Islands, red wine from France, kakadu plum from Australia, patua from Amazon rainforest. Till around a year back, we were only online, but now we have a very significant offline presence as well. Thank you.
Hi, Abhishek Daga here, founder at Nasher Miles. We are a D2C online first luggage brand, and we are, we have brought style, fashion, variety onto your luggage, which till now was like, the boring black and blue. Recently, we were on Shark Tank episode 15, where we were successful in getting all the 5 sharks on board. And so, yeah, looking at exciting times ahead to working with them, as well as, moving into other channels from online. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. My first question would be to Shivi. Shivi, how has the customer expectation changed in your category? You are in the category of eyewear, something which almost every second Indian may be using, but you know the statistics better. How has the customer changed? If you can, answer to that question, then we'll come to the next question.
So specifically, we have been targeting bottom of the pyramid, which means the customers, majority of the customers don't wear glasses. So we are trying to make them aware. Now there has been a great pattern which I have seen over a decade since I have been working in this. People have become much more aware about taking care of their eyes. So I always keep saying this, that there are a lot of fitness experts, there are a lot of influencers who talk about entire body fitness. No one talks about eye care. I don't understand why. There are no fitness reels over eye care. And I think it is very, very important to understand, and people have been starting to realize that without that, they cannot see, right? So that is one. Second is personalization. I think people have started realizing that they need personalized products, although we are into customization already, but they need much more personalization. They need a specific product tailor-made for them, if you can. They need particular SKUs which are in fashion. So fashion has come up, and we are talking about people at bottom. So we are talking about a product category which is in the range of 300, 500 rupees. We are talking about auto rickshaw drivers. We are talking about blue collars, and they require fashion, so which is very fascinating to know.
Thank you. Chippy, you said, you are into custom-made products, shirts. What was the thought process? Because I think it's a long process. It's not a factory-made stuff the way I understand it. So why this? Because Shivi spoke about customization and personalization. What was the reason for starting this brand, Bombay Shirt Company, at its genesis?
So, I think the apparel retail space has generally just been ripe for disruption for many years. There have been major inventory problems across many, many brands and retailers. I think we've heard a lot of retailers go down over the years and file for bankruptcy, because inventory management is something that's very hard to, take care of, at the right efficiency. Customers are constantly evolving, changing. Their demands are getting, more and more, right? So being able to predict exactly what a customer wants is very difficult. So one of the reasons that we wanted to get into this space is if we can actually create a supply chain to have a just-in-time model where people have spoken about for years, but not really been able to achieve. That's something that we thought that there was a space to try and get better at and efficient at. And we have been today we are able to customize and personalize your bottom wear, which is chinos, denims, dress pants, within 48 hours and dispatch it. And our shirts are in about 7 to 8 days. So nobody's really doing this at scale. There have been a lot of players in the market, If you think of the Gabanas, Kachins, Tailorman, I mean, well, Tailorman is also expanded, but a lot of mom and pops basically running this specific local professional tailoring service in specific localities. But what we wanted to do was to try and scale this up and professionalize it and have a very seamless and automated supply chain. So our supply chain works in a way where it's 24/7, and anywhere in the world, anywhere in the country, any store where a customer punches an order, it's like almost like a Mickey D's, like when you punch an order and at the cash counter and you see the kitchen working at the back right away. That's how we are trying to create a supply chain. So we were at 21 days, came to 14 days. Today we are at 7 days for shirts. And these are like hundreds of customizations. Your monogram, your pockets, your plackets and everything. So it's very interesting and, personal journey for a customer. And honestly, our goal is that over the next few years to even take that down to 48 hours and 72 hours in the shirt space.
Excellent, excellent. So somebody who was taking 21 days came down to 14, came down to 7, and now endeavors or the target is to reach to 48 hours or 2 days. That's very aggressive, but if you could get it from 21 to 7, you can get it to 2 days as well.
Yes, we hope so.
Yes, yes.
Our bottom wear is 2 days.
Yeah? Oh, good. So before I come to Ravi, who is one of the, he's the founder of Wonder Chef, पहले वो ingredients लेके आते प्रतीक से. So we'll ask Pratik about Pluck from farm to fork and 1,000 plus farmers. Why this model, Pratik? Because this is not an easy game, or let me put it bluntly, is it a profitable game or not? And that's the reason, we would like you to share your insights about this farm to fork model.
Thanks. So definitely profitability it is there. See, the way we thought about this concept was that fresh food is one category which is probably the largest, but not disrupted for ages. We have seen disruptions in FMCG, in personal care, in fashion, and so many categories where on these categories a new age brand has come up and disrupted the traditional brand by going online, by creating some sort of a product which is functionally better, which appeals emotionally to the customer. But in the fresh food space, it's not really happening. So we understood what the customer challenges are in terms of freshness, chemical usage, preservatives, all the authenticity problems, that where it is coming from, organic and all these things. And also from the assortment and curation point of view, that it's not just those daily essentials that we are looking for. The new age customer is living in a global fashion, where they are looking to cook something which is like, for example, a ramen or some things which the ingredients you don't find easily. So we are a one-stop platform for our customers for these fresh food requirements, be it your daily essentials, which are very high in terms of the quality, in terms of it's traceable, it's hygienic, it's ozone washed, some of the things that we have built and lab tested and all. And then we also curate this assortment in a way of meal kits in terms of different value-add products, which our customers are using in terms of what their lifestyle wants. So, for example, if a customer wants to enjoy something like a ramen or a khao soi, they will be able to do it. If they want a preservative-free dip or a juice for their kid, they will be able to do it on Pluck, while all other options are not able to provide this. So we address this new age customer, we disrupt the fresh food space, and of course that a slight premium on the is also there on the pricing, which leads to a real business out of it. Yeah.
Ravi, you have got this wonderful brand Wonder Chef, and I think you have got a good brand ambassador also, Sanjeev Kapoor. But what was your genesis? Because there are so many brands out here, and to stand out of all those is a big challenge. So what was your unique value proposition?
I am excited that the person sitting at the end of the panel is a luggage innovator. And I think my story starts there. My first job after my MBA was as the brand manager of Skybags. Okay. And it was a fuddy-duddy brand in those days, not growing at all. And I was given the challenge to see whether to close this brand or to make something out of it. And there were many small things that I did exactly in the 1 year that I stayed there. But one of the most important things that I did was listening to the consumer and figuring that Skybags was being sold wrongly to the molded luggage customers. Wrong targeting, we said that right, and wrong product. So I studied what could be done and saw that people who come from abroad, because I had not traveled abroad till that time, this was way back in 93, 30 years ago, and I saw these guys are walking into India from the international airport with a trolley bag. And I couldn't believe what I saw, because trolley did not exist in India. Trolley bags didn't exist. Soft luggage was this elephant type luggage which kept falling here and there, and you used to pull it with a plastic strap. So we innovated the trolley bag and we called it VIP Strolly, which became the generic name. And to sum it up, that is the secret of Wonder Chef's success as well, listening to the consumer. So when I wanted to do something in the cooking space, in the domestic kitchen, I spoke to about 200 homes and said, what can we do? And they said, look, we all use mixie, but purane style ki hai, badi si hoti hai, unwieldy hai, too many attachments, steel jar se andar nahi dikhta. And we created our iconic product, working for 1.5 years on research. We created our iconic product called NutriBlend, which standalone basis, NutriBlend is a 200 crore business per year today and growing. Okay, bigger than most of the companies in this space. That single product. Basically a plastic blender with polycarbonate unbreakable jars. Why polycarbonate? I understood from luggage industry. उस पे कूद के दिखाते थे कि देखो टूटता नहीं है, तो इसलिए हमने polycarbonate के jars बनाए. And listening to the consumer, we have today developed a range of 450 appliances. The disruption in our industry, and I would like to just take an input from the audience if you would allow, कि आपको क्या लगता है domestic kitchen में खाना बनाने में what is the biggest competitor? Who is the biggest competitor to cooking at home?
At least women can help.
Anyone? Swiggy, Zomato, yes? Okay, microwave you use at home, but yeah, I get what you mean. Okay, so not to make it a trick question. Well, outside home delivery, yes, is a competitor, but the biggest competitor is this. Your smartphone. Because over the last 10 years, everybody has become smart. WhatsApp आ गया, Facebook आ गया, OTT आ गया, streaming आ गया. Nobody has time to cook. If you remember our moms, they used to spend on an average 2 hours, 3 hours before each meal. दिन में 8-10 घंटा खाने बनाने में जाता था. अभी टाइम नहीं है, मेरे मेड के पास भी टाइम नहीं है, मेरे कुक के पास भी टाइम नहीं है, because उसको हर टाइम कॉल आ रहे हैं, टीवी देखना है. So we understood that and we created this range of smart appliances, which is the key to success of Wonder Chef. और किसी ने नहीं किया. Everybody kept selling the same pots, pans, cooktops, mixies. We created a range of smart appliances that help you cook faster. Just to, not to sell, but just to give you an insight. Soup maker does not exist. Many people don't know. Soup बनाने में 90 minutes लगता है. It takes 1.5 hours to cook the soup the normal way. In our soup maker, you just put vegetables, press a button. In 20 minutes, hot, healthy soup with all the fibers, all the goodness inside, but you don't feel the fibers. They get dissolved. Heating, blending, everything is done. 20 minutes, you have a soup. Every evening, you can have a soup. And in those 20 minutes, you don't need to stand there and strain or whatever. You can go back to doing your WhatsApp or watching your OTT, and the soup will be made. So this is the reason of our success, listening to the consumer and continuous innovation.
Continuous innovation, listening to the consumer. Anurag, over to you. Pilgrim is a very good name. You know, it sounds like pilgrimage. What made you, before I ask the question, this is my question, what made you come up with this name Pilgrim?
So I'll tell you the process we followed. One was we've identified the brand concept, which is about offering international beauty ingredients. And then we said, if we have to go place to place collecting ingredients, you know, what is the name which can represent this? And my co-founder is also an engineer. I am an engineer. So we said 2 syllable के नाम याद रहने चाहिए और end में मात्रा होनी चाहिए. This is my formula. So names, you know, I went back to my college days and Ravi is a senior from the same college. Names, nicknames which stuck, you know, ended with A, E, U, with a matra, you know. So we said, you know, so I created a grid of all the Hindi syllables, put them together. It didn't work. but we said कुछ अच्छा interesting brand name चाहिए which represents the feeling of what we were trying to offer, and we worked with a consultant who proposed a few names. Another alternate name which we didn't go with was zip code. Eventually we are happier that we went with Pilgrim because it has seen a lot of consumer love in terms of just the brand name apart from what we offer.
Sure. And what was the reason? This is my way of looking at the market. It is so overcrowded today, and every second day a new D2C brand comes in: skincare, healthcare, XYZ. So, what made you enter this category? What was the logic behind and the science behind it?
So, और कुछ आता ही नहीं था, Hitesh. That is the honest answer.
Wow.
For 12-13 years, I was running spas, salons, Ayurveda clinics, trichology clinics, where I was a director. It was not my company. So, और कुछ आता ही नहीं था.
Okay.
So, जब कुछ नया करना था, तो beauty और wellness आता था. So, the another alternate idea we were exploring was nutraceuticals. And we actually wanted to start 2 brands. Then one of my friends and one of my co-founders from my earlier ventures said, यार 2 brand कैसे बनाओगे? बहुत पैसे लगेंगे, एक ही बनाओ. So then we had to drop wellness because of his advice. And then we said beauty बनाते हैं, and that's how Pilgrim was born.
Good. And what all products you all have in Pilgrim?
So now 150 SKUs across skincare, hair care, body care, and color cosmetics.
Very good. We'll come to you, Anurag. Now we'll go to Abhishek and ask that luggage wala question. We use this luggage many times in our corporate world. But Nasher miles, what made you enter this category? Again, same question, because we want to know the thinking behind why new age, innovators are entering any particular category. And over the years, what I have seen is the reason, there are 4 to 5 reasons which we can compartmentalize. But many times, like Anurag said, और कुछ आता नहीं था. Okay, so that was another reason. But उसको जो आता था और जो आता है, he was master in that. That's why he started Pilgrim. But again, this category, what was your logic to enter as a new? Because luggage is a very challenging category. Abhishek.
So interestingly, we started our journey in 2014 is when we started our business as online retailers. At that time, we were selling almost everything under the sun. When Amazon, Flipkart were growing, they were just buy and sell. We will subsidize you. And that's how the journey started, where luggage was also one of the categories that we worked with. So we were distributors of Caprese, official VIP distributors of Caprese. We were working, buying Samsonite, Safari from distributors and selling online. Over time, we saw that, this with the Cloudtails and Aparios of the world coming in, there was no play in simple trading, right? Till now, it's just trading. That's why we said, okay, we need to have our own brand. Since we have worked with all the categories, we are familiar with the e-commerce ecosystem, the warehousing, operations, returns, reconciliations. We eliminated a few categories like appliances, sunglasses, etc. We eliminated those. We were also Luxottica's official sellers online. In fact, we built out the sunglasses category on Amazon when it started. Then luggage was a great category for multiple reasons. The unbranded market was still big at 60-65%. This I'm talking about 2017 when we started our brand Nasher Miles. It's an oligopolistic market. Pretty much there are 3 big brands out there, or house of brands. One is of course Safari, VIP, which has all its Skybag, Aristocrat, Carlton under VIP, and Samsonite, which has right from Tumi, Samsonite, they're most popular in India, American Tourister, and the value brand called Chameleon. So essentially the 3 houses, which at that time had 35% market share. But then again, in the online space, which we knew, there were hardly any players. The online ecosystem had not evolved, and being a small portion of the entire sales of the big brands did not care about online at that time. In fact, we were the ones who introduced selling sets of 3s online, which helped us reduce the logistics costs and therefore build a brand online. When you're online, you have to build a brand. Luggage is typically, other than these big names, you only go for the unbranded luggage, some random names. But we saw an opportunity that there are not that many brands online. There was a big gap to carve a niche for ourselves. Other than that, luggage also, right? there's not so much of obsolescence as such. Sizes are kind of standard. So we knew that, yeah, of course, the materials change. There are a few materials out there. Materials will become better. No wheels became 2 wheels, 2 became 4, and now 8 wheels is standard. So these are the iterative innovations you have. But by and large, it was a good category to be in. Travel was growing. We used to travel, what, earlier once a year, once in 2 months. Sorry, once a year, once in 2 years. Now it's like once a quarter. And air travel, road travel. So seeing all that, luggage was a great category to be in, and that's how we chose luggage.
Very well articulated, Abhishek. In fact, this is again a classic case where the founder knows everything about the business, and he started as a digital first. So you started as a D2C brand, but today do you have stores?
No, not yet.
Yeah, so still you are a D2C brand.
As on date, D2C brand, yes.
Yes, and online market share, what would be a percent?
No, so...
Or overall, let me put it overall, then I thought I'll ask you a smaller question. But
for our percentage of the overall marketplace?
Yeah.
No, so after a Shark Tank, you would say 4 or 5 of our hero products on Amazon are in the, 9 products are in the Amazon's top 100 in luggage at this point.
Okay.
Of the online market share, it's not, I wouldn't say in terms of numbers, the entire branded market is probably 10,000 crores overall.
Overall.
And we are at the run rate, or we are probably going to close at 85 to 90 this year. So it's not like as a percentage, but then there's no single large player. So even a VIP with all its brands, each one would be fragmented.
Yes. Good, Abhishek. That's a good insight out here. Shivi, coming back to this will be the final round, and we would like to. There will be 2 questions. So one is the big challenges that you have faced, any one or 2, and how you have overcome that challenge is what something we would like to know, because that's where we'll get some insights on how you have charted this unconventional part. So what was your biggest challenge, and how have you overcome it, and what impact you have created till now?
So I think from our perspective, the biggest challenge has been to operate in a smaller town where logistics is a biggest challenge. Especially from our product category, repeat purchase is very low. So we need to serve each customer on the floor immediately, and usually people require eyeglasses immediately, while we do not have solutions if it is being customized to deliver within 24 to 48 hours. So the biggest challenge was कि अगर 4 से 5 दिन में हम लोग deliver कर रहे हैं तो उसको कैसे 24 hours में कर सकते हैं? How do we break up the consumers into age categories as well as the prescription categories? Can we deliver at least 50% of the consumers within 24 hours, and rest, let's say we pass on to 2 days, 3 days? How do we categorize kids category from adult category? And because kids में in India incidence level hota hai. So incidence level means out of 100 population, how many people would require eyeglasses. So India was, from kids range, it was 7% 2010-11 data. Currently it is 15%. We believe it to be 25% another 20 years. So 25% kids, when I say kids, it is around 5 years to 6 years old, they will start getting more eyeglasses because of the digital penetration, obviously. So how do we prepare ourselves for that category? So that has been a core challenge which we have been facing. We are not yet solved it. So we are trying to solve it. The second challenge is, again, when we talk about offline presence, very, very difficult to understand what kind of geography will cater to our kind of market when we say bottom of the pyramid, when we say we want to sell in a product price point category, as well as finding our properties within that range. While not bleeding more on the OPEX structure, because it's very difficult to operate retail store formats within a fixed OPEX structure in the initial days when you are not a national brand and you don't have a lot of customers coming in directly. So that has been the 2 major challenges which we have tried our best to mitigate. And I think one biggest learning for me personally is that we are able to crack in smaller towns. We have at least 200 square feet of space at a rental range of 10,000 rupees. So that's very difficult. You need to visit the markets. You need to understand where the residence is. Don't go for high streets. High streets is fascinating for sure, but it's bleeding from your pocket if you are looking to retail out. So go for developing markets which are about to get developed, and then see where the residence is. So because it is relevant for our brand.
Thanks, Shivi. Ravi, you said that you have introduced smart appliances. Is this a challenge for the Indian housewife? Or what is the actual challenge that you are facing here, and how are you planning to overcome them? I just thought that smart appliances, not every housewife would be, very much convenient to, use the smartness of that device. But how do you see this as a challenge, and what other challenges you have faced?
Yeah, I'll talk about two things quickly. One is that when I started, I built pretty large format businesses in India. I built Sodexo in India, which grew into a huge, huge company. I was the CEO there for 14 years, built all the businesses there. So when I started on my own, I wanted to grow quickly. I wanted to scale. I wanted to compete with the big boys. My idea was not to just start a company, stay 50, 100 crores and make a few crores on the side and be happy about life. The idea was to really be at the top. But how do you do that? Because 80% of the sales, 75 to 80% of the sale takes place in general trade in our category. And general trade is ruthless to a new player. In last 40 years, 4 decades, no new brand has come into general trade in our category. So how do you do that? And of course, we failed in making a dent in general trade. That led me, and that is how we answered this challenge, to the creation of alternate distribution. And I think that is really a case study for our company. Today, I will not go through all the process for the paucity of time, but I can tell you the end result. Today, we have 4 pillars of distribution. General trade, which is 80% for other brands, is only 25% for us. And we are happy about it because we are already present in about 15,000 outlets and growing. So there is a big runway for growth. 25% is modern trade. Doesn't come easy, but we are the strongest brand, despite being a new player. We are the strongest brand in modern trade because of the demonstration culture, and which also answers this question that how we market smart appliances by demonstration. So we have our promoters or demonstrators or floaters or in-shop promoters in these kind of outlets. So 25% general trade, 25% modern trade, 25% comes from e-commerce, which is again the highest percentage in e-commerce from any one of the established category players in our industry. And the most interesting part is the rest 25% comes from alternate channels, which a lot of other players do not have only. Like we have a team of about 45,000 women entrepreneurs who also market our products across 1,000 towns of India. We have a very strong corporate gifting team because that is what I built in the Sodexo mode. We have presence in 15 countries and so on and so forth. So 25% general trade, 25% modern trade, 25% e-commerce, and 25% alternate channels. And that is how, through a 360-degree exposure, through a lot of demonstrations, we are able to market complex appliances.
Thanks. Pratik, we would like to know more. How do you integrate these 1,000 farmers? Because yours would be a classic supply chain case study again here. And is that not a challenge, or how did you overcome that?
Yeah, definitely. So firstly, the integration and the farmer piece is, a lot of companies do farm to fork today. But what we do differently is that not only do we onboard these farmers, we also have very specific programs for these farmers. So one is that, for example, we have a program where if the woman in the household will be getting the payment in their bank account, then we will give 1% extra or something like that. Which means that we understood that in a farmer household, it is important to get the money and secure it and not just spend it and while it away. So this led to farmers becoming more engaged and more associated with us as a family. So firstly, one piece is the farmer engagement and a lot of these processes. The other is the supply chain bit, where it is an obvious process of getting a collection center, distribution center, and then taking it to the end customer. But the main part of that is the technology innovation that we have done in terms of traceability. So today, end customer of Plug, whether they buy on any platform, they can just scan a QR code and see the farmer detail where they are procuring it from what is the harvest date, what is the soil, what is the farmer information, source, etc. So this provides a lot of authenticity. And the other most important thing is that in this supply chain, we have the challenge for us that we were solving from day one was freshness, quality, chemical usage, preservative, and all of that, pesticide. So to solve that, we came up with this ozone wash technology, which is something that we have deployed and we have tested it over a long period of time to understand and lab certified that it removes 99.9% germs on the product, and it also removes the 75+% pesticides. And it also, as a result, increases the shelf life of the product. So this created our base product for us, that the end customers are getting genuinely a better quality product when they are ordering from us. And the second big challenge was the selling part of this, the marketing part of it, where it is very difficult in our category to make you convinced that, this product is better, because touch and feel and all that, everybody wants, has a very traditional mindset towards that. So to relate to our new age audience, we also went forward and talked about the lifestyle orientation of our assortment. For example, good for gut, good for diabetes, good for skin, good for hair. These are different. People are looking for solutions in these areas. And we classified our assortment. We created curations of our products, as I said, meal kits. And we specify not only that this product is the best in the market in terms of the quality, the freshness, the pesticide usage, the preservative, but it is also curated in a way that ingredients are combined to deliver a certain lifestyle benefit, which is there in your lifestyle. So this is what, how we integrate the whole thing.
One other question which I want to ask you is, do you have a celebrity?
Yes, we do. We also have Kareena Kapoor as our celebrity, who has invested in us and also as a brand ambassador, which does really help us put across the message. And over the last 1 year since we have got her in, it has really helped the audiences to identify with our brand and trust us more with it.
Can you give us what was the synergy between Plug and Kareena Kapoor to come together? What was that reason?
So yeah, of course, like any other consumer brand, we also had a lot of research into what celebrities could be the right ones for us. And we were fortunate to have Kareena on board because we identified her as a homemaker who is married and has kids. And she is not only looking for the best lifestyle for herself, but for her husband, for her kids. And also, it's done in an aspirational way that people would trust that if something is there which she is consuming, her family is consuming, she approves of this particular produce or fresh food that is being consumed. It is definitely something that has gone through many levels of testing and analysis and research. And that's where a brand like Kareena really helped us put across the message that Plug is trying to do.
Nice. Chippy, this can be my perception. Is scale an impediment for your brand, that you can't scale up because it's highly personalized or customized? Is that a challenge?
I mean, that's most definitely a challenge. I mean, it's a challenge on the front end as well as the back end.
Okay.
The front end, of course, being that how does one convince a lot of male consumers to go through the process of a custom-made product, right? Because there's a certain amount of time and effort and detailing required.
So, sorry to interrupt. Can I ask you one question? Is the male consumer adopting this, or because they are moving, mostly the business has moved from tailoring towards ready-mades, but coming back to this question, so if you can address that also, how is the consumer behaving?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think, again, as the newer generation is coming forward, the 30 plus, then becoming to 35 and 40, they do want some feeling of an emotional attachment and feeling special. Of course, there is a large population that wants fast fashion, that wants it easy, quick, and done with, right? But there is also a very significant percentage and a growing percentage of men who actually just want a good product, good service, and are willing to stick with a brand once they go through the hoops. The problem is that, of course, the challenge is that they have to go through the hoops. So where AI, to answer your question, comes in is that how do we make that experience a lot more seamless? What if a customer came into our store and there was an automatic body scanner that took all his measurements? Just imagine, right? So, and there are body scanners in the market, it's just that they've not been very successful. We are not trying to, we don't consider ourselves a technology company, so we would depend on, different companies to be able to innovate and, give us such kind of technologies. But just imagine, right, if any of us, I think a lot of us are Bombay shirt customers. So, but if you just walked into the store and that happened and you didn't have to go on through a trial process, which otherwise you do have to do in fast fashion, right? So that's the front end. And the back end, like 100%, because to have a just-in-time supply chain, I think across industry is challenging, especially in India. So for us, where from real time, punching in an order to going out in the back end, printing out the CAD patterns, picking up all those specific materials, aggregating those materials into a certain, production line, getting that production out, sending it all out. I mean, the more technology that we are able to imbibe into that process, and which of course has helped us out to even get into 2 days and 7 days in different categories, the quicker the whole process is, and obviously that's what increases the customer experience and the NPS.
So a competitor would be a made-to-measure kind of a Raymond's made-to-measure.
So yes and no. I mean, I think Raymond's is the only real large-scale, you could say competitor if you want. I consider them obviously a brand from the yesteryear, a legacy brand, tremendous respect for them and what they've built. I don't know how much they're going ahead in terms of, focusing on the made-to-measure space, because it is a hard space. A lot of people have come in and failed. Yeah. But I mean, in terms of competition, I would say ready-to-wear is our competition.
Thanks. Anurag, I want to ask you a marketing question. In this clutter, how do you differentiate? What will be your value proposition? And how do you market Pilgrim? Pilgrim has got a significant visibility, or let me say brand saliency in the market. How are you now taking it ahead?
So I think fundamentally it starts with what the brand proposition is. So, you were talking about a lot of clutter in the market. I didn't know when we started that there were 500 digital native brands when we started. Today that number is more than 1,000. And almost every week, every 15 days, there is a new digital native beauty brand which gets launched. And broadly, they all look, feel similar. They're similar manufacturers, labels look similar. Just go and search for an onion shampoo on Amazon, and you will see like 50 brands all looking very, very similar. Similar price point, and probably there are only 2, 3, 4 manufacturers which are all making the same onion shampoo for different brands. So fundamentally, the brand has to be differentiated. Otherwise, just, if the content or what is inside is not differentiated, आप बाहर से shirt pant पहना के उसको नहीं बदल सकते. आदमी अच्छा होना चाहिए. Then Bombay shirt company can do a great job of making that good person look nicer. तो पहले तो आत्मा अच्छी होनी चाहिए, शरीर अच्छा होना चाहिए, उसके बाद आप कपड़े अच्छे पहनाओ. And different होना चाहिए, right? If you want to stand out in the market, if you are like the other 1,000+ brands today, how are you going to communicate something which is not, authentic or genuine? So our source of, authenticity comes from the fact that absolutely nobody in the market today offers French red wine-based anti-aging solutions, or absolutely nobody in the market today offers Patfa from Amazon rainforest, which is very good for dry, frizzy hair, so on and so forth. Then once you have a proposition which is very, very differentiated, then is the job of communication, where we use all channels, all mediums, which is including the biggies like Meta, Google. However, we look at it in terms of consumer journey. How things have changed over the last 10 years, I will say, is earlier the consumer would go to the shop, TV पे ad देखते थे, दुकान पे आते थे, product देखा, याद आया, recall हुआ तो खरीद लिया, ad नहीं देखा तो भी that's the first encounter with the brand, they will buy. Now the consumer journey is a lot more convoluted. Typically, you have discovered the product either on a social media or on the marketplace, but that is just the discovery. You have not made a purchase. Then you go on YouTube and look for reviews. On the marketplace, you're looking for reviews. What is the kind of imagery which was there when you saw the first brand, when you saw the brand for the first time, whether on social media or on marketplaces? One of the challenges we have seen for most of the brands, even some of the more established brands, is their imagery is not up to the mark. And you go and look at some of the international counterparts, whether digital brands or some of the MNC brands, they do a phenomenal job of doing great imagery. And for a beauty product, you have to be beautiful. Not just make people beautiful, you have to look beautiful, feel beautiful. Then once you have encountered the brand in whichever touch point, how seamless is the consumer order experience? After the order, what is the delivery communication? Because most of the queries which come on our support process or most of the other D2C brands you will see is, where is my order? Have you kept the customer informed? And because logistics is still not very evolved in India, there will be delays, there will be breakdowns. So are you keeping the consumer informed on whatever delays are happening? Once the delivery has happened, how does the brown box feel in the hands of the consumer? Once they open the brown box, this big thing about unboxing. One of my friends told me something beautiful, that when you order something online, you're actually gifting yourself that product. So just go back to our own experiences. We know that that shampoo is going to come, but we're waiting with so much anticipation, and when that product is there in our hands, we open with so much excitement and anticipation, as if some magic is going to happen when we open that box. So we have to really delight the consumer at that touch point. When the consumer is still not used the product, but when she's holding the product in her hand, is she really excited about how the packaging looks? When she opens that bottle, the first thing which most consumers will do is check the sensorials, how's the texture, how's the fragrance, how's the perfume. Then the journey will start of actual usage of the product, and the product has to deliver over few weeks, few months, depending upon which product it is. Post-purchase, what is the communication the consumer is receiving from the brand? Or even during the purchase process, we spoke about the delivery communication. So this entire consumer experience mapping is what we have focused on. It is not one communication saying, this is a shampoo good for dry, frizzy hair, hence you buy. The entire journey is what we map, and that's where we think we differentiate from the competition.
Very well explained, Anurag. I think this is a good 2-minute video. We can say, how to right from the product till opening the box and getting that satisfaction. Yes, and that's exactly the process that happens, and it happens with most of us, in fact all of us. We are eagerly awaiting that brown box, and we open it as if we have gifted it to ourselves. With that, Abhishek, since you said you are a D2C and digital first brand, we have been interacting with all the D2C founders here. Most of them want to grow, and the next level growth is getting into physical retail. That means you will have to have your own stores. What is your plan for Nasher Miles? Are you going to get into physical retail and have your own stores?
Yes. In this coming year, and coming financial year, we are looking at 7 to 10 EBOs, exclusive brand outlets. So that's where we are going to start our physical stores with. And then as we grow forward, go from here, we'll see the journey, where it takes us. The next step would be modern trade, the likes of Lifestyle, Shoppers Stop. This is where we would be. And finally, it would be GT. We see that by 2027, 28, even then our focus would be online. By 28, we see 15% of our sales coming from the offline channels in a mix of 5 to 7%, 4 to 5% EBOs, up 3 to 4% or 5% corporate B2B. Corporate gifting, that's a very big sector. And when I say corporate gifting, I'm also including the marriage market, That's actually a big market for luggage. And then 3 to 4% in modern trade, and the rest in general trade.
Okay. With this, since you mentioned your goals, this would be the final question. Obviously, I'd mentioned it before. But where do you see 5 years down the line? And we can start with Shivi and then Ravi, and then we can come to Abhishek, he has already said. But 5 years down the line, where do you see clear Dekho, Shivi?
Approximately 25 crore people living in the smaller towns require eyeglasses. We believe that we want to take at least 30 to 40% market share in next 5 years. We want to be the biggest optical player to deliver affordable glasses to our exact target market. That is where our simple goal is. So that's our vision is. So
70% of 25 crores, 30 crores.
40% is more than enough.
More than enough.
उससे ज़्यादा नहीं कर पाएंगे, I think.
Excellent.
Easy नहीं है, 25 crore बहुत बड़ा
population. And store-wise?
So currently we are at almost 120. We plan to be around 500 stores by 27. So that is where, and we have 53 stores in UP, so we'll be the first brand to do 500 stores in UP alone, because I think UP में सबसे ज़्यादा population है, तो UP क्यों नहीं कर रहे कोई?
500 stores in UP alone in next 5 years.
So that's our vision.
This is the clear vision, and that's why, these are the unconventional paths. Why should we go outside जब यहीं पे, मतलब whatever it is, यहीं पे इतना potential है. And that's Uttar Pradesh for Shivi Singh from Clear Dekho. Where do you see yourself, Ravi, 5 years down the line from Wonder Chef perspective?
Well, I would say that we are quite a well-established brand and distribution now. There is a good runway for growth in all distribution channels. We have a good turnover, so we are looking at listing ourselves in next 2 to 3 years' time. And in 5 years' time, hopefully $1 billion valuation.
Excellent. 5 years down the line, $1 billion valuation. That's congratulations on that and all the best. Where do you see Pratik from 1,000 farmers plus, and where do you see Plug going ahead?
So the good part about our brand is that in the fresh food, it's very few online fruits and vegetables and this kind of brand. So we are probably already one of the very few and already leading the market. Now, 99% of the market is unbranded, I would say. And our target is that even if we become 5% of the market, and that's what we would like to be, then people awakening to the concept of, consuming fresh fruits and vegetables and value-added products through a brand and not just in an unbranded format. That's something that we want to create. We want to lead that wave, and in that process, be a 5% of that market, and that easily creates a multi-billion-dollar business for us.
5% of the market to be having this branded fruits and vegetables.
Yep.
Excellent. So obviously it becomes multi-billion dollar market.
Multi-billion, yeah.
Multi-billion dollar market. Yes. Good.
Yeah.
Awesome. All the best. Chippy, where do you see Bombay Shirt Company 5 years down the line?
I mean, I think for us, one of the most important metrics is just same-store growth, which is basically retention rate. I think growth happens organically as long as you can keep increasing your customer NPS, in terms of customer satisfaction. And without same-store growth, it's very hard to scale the business sustainably and profitably. So that's one of the most important metrics that we look after. But in terms of inorganic growth, we are at about 20 to 30 stores now. This year we'll be ending at about 35 stores. We want to be at about 150 to 200 stores in the next 3 to 5 years. Of course, grow the online presence as well. But again, in that whole, realm of growth, I think what's most important to us is not the number of stores, but how are we able to actually, not I would say disrupt, but understand the consumer better than what otherwise a fast fashion retailer does, and be able to, bring on a certain type of business model that otherwise does not exist in the apparel space today.
Excellent. 150 stores in the next 3 to 5 years, but more important so, understand the consumer. Where do you see, Anurag, yourself taking Pilgrim ahead?
So our aspiration is to be amongst the top 5 beauty brands in the country, and most of them today belong to the same company. Hopefully we can replace one of their brands and be in the top 5. Top 5 beauty brands in the country in the next 5 years. Excellent. All the best. Abhishek?
Our projections, 5 years from now, we are looking at around 40 exclusive brand outlets, being the top 3 brands in the online space, and we are looking at anything between 525 to 550 turnover from where we currently are.
Very good. Top 5 brands in the online space and close to 500, 550. Thank you very much, gentlemen. That was fantastic. We got lots of insights from all of you, talking about how charting unconventional paths to retail triumph. So we did speak about bottom of pyramid. We spoke about customization. We spoke about personalization. We spoke about fashion value. We spoke about value at the range of 300 to 400 rupees. We also spoke about customization from a premiumization perspective, where a product is 2, 3, 4,000, 5,000 rupees also. We spoke about logistics and supply chain, how 1,000+ farmers have been contacted, and how the supply chain has been set to deal with this and integrate these farmers in the whole ecosystem. We talk about freshness, we spoke about quality, we spoke about distribution, we spoke about just in time. How just in time can increase your productivity and definitely wealth, value and valuation. But one good thing that I liked all about the rest was अपनी आत्मा अच्छी होनी चाहिए. You know what Anurag spoke about. तो चेहरे पे कुछ भी लगा लो, या अच्छा शर्ट पहन लो, या अच्छे गॉगल्स पहन लो, या अच्छी बैग ले लो, जब तक आत्मा अच्छी नहीं है तो it won't create that impact. So that was the icing on the cake, Anurag. But thank you very much, our esteemed panelists here, for sharing your insights with us here today at the Retail Leadership Summit. Thank you once again.
Thank you.